Hello. Yeah, I am joining right now. Yeah.
Hi Suresh, how are you?
I am good. What about you?
Good. Okay, so we can start.
Yeah.
So let's start with brief introduction, what you're working on, what your role in current company, and
Yeah.
what's your expertise basically.
Yeah, Tewar. My name is Suresh Raju Bedpuri. I am working as a DevOps Engineer with more than 5 years of experience. Relevant experience and 4+ years of experience in AWS DevOps. I have good hands-on experience in AWS and multi-cloud platforms. I work on tools like Terraform, GitHub Actions, and we are end-to-end CI/CD pipelines. We are deployed into the microservice level of architecture, so Docker and Kubernetes. In this current role, I'm mainly focused on more security-based infrastructure on AWS, and I used security tools like Trivi and Sneak, and also SAS scanning is a Sonar Cube. We are integrated with in between of the pipelines. Current my achievements, we are reducing the AWS cost, cloud cost maintenance, and different projects, supporting into the cloud migration projects. We are working actively improving the DevSecOps roles. These are the achievements of my end, and also in the certification side, Oracle Foundation GenAI certified into the I had completed into 2024. Recently, I have what is generative AI in LinkedIn learning portal. These are the certification of my end. That's it.
Okay,
Also,
okay, okay. So there is an application. There's an uh, okay. So there is an architecture, right, where multiple AWS services are used, right? How would you ensure the security of this? Like all the components are secure, and what is the checklist basically? Can you please go through that?
yeah.
Hello, am I clear? Like, do you want me to repeat my question, or is it clear?
Actually, once again, please repeat the question. What are your voice
Right,
is
right.
not clear?
Okay. So, so we have an architecture, right, where we have deployed an application. There are multiple components, front end, back end, ML, and this whole application is set up on AWS cloud, and it is utilizing, for example, Beanstalk, AWS Beanstalk, right? So, how do you ensure the security of this whole solution? What is the checklist that you would go through it, right?
You are asking the checklist means for that AWS we are deploying to the application. That's right. First of all, we are focusing on the AWS application deployment of the AWS multi components. These kind of things. One thing is IAM, identity access management. You can least privileges access user and groups, user and roles. And next thing is the security, network security, implementation of the on top of VPC and network access control. These are the two things, and we are data protection side. We have focused into the encryption of secrets and everything about the back end of AWS KMS. Basically, we are the secrets are stored into the KMS. It is the security by parameter store. We can on top of the KMS encryption, and also monitoring logging in between that particular thing. Monitoring means something CloudWatch, alarms and CloudWatch logs and monitoring. These are the security wise components that deploy into the AWS side.
What is the difference between NACL and security groups?
Sorry.
What is the difference between NACL and security groups? You mentioned NACL, right? NACLs.
Your voice is very low.
I'm saying, hello.
Yeah, tell me once again.
What is the difference between NACL and security groups?
Basically, NACL is the stateless firewall. We have NACL is applicable into the subnet level, affected in all resources within the subnet. Security groups are applicable into the instance level, only affected in the specific instance they are associated with that one.
Okay. I have data in S3 bucket.
Okay.
Okay. I want to transfer it to an EC2 instance. Okay. Now I want to make sure that it does not go through the public internet. How would you configure that?
Asking about you are asking about what are the things you are.
Let me repeat the question once again.
Yes.
Hi. So let me repeat the question. He's asking, let's say, for example, you have data on your S3. Okay. Now, what you want to do is you want to transfer this data on an EC2 instance. All right.
Okay.
He's asking that if you want to transfer this data to EC2 instance, how you can do that without relaying this uh, data on open internet.
Yeah, idea. Basically, you are storing into the your data is storing into the S3 bucket, right?
Right, right.
Yes.
First thing, we have to find out the VPC endpoint for the S3 bucket. To create the VPC endpoint for S3, the allow you to EC2 instance to access S3 directly without using without going through the public internet. That is the one thing. Another thing is AWS private link. The use of AWS private link to security connection your VPC to S3, ensuring that the data transfer say within the AWS network.
Okay, so consider a scenario where you are bound or you are forced to use the open network. Let's say, for example, you are from A point to point B, you have to go through the internet itself, and you want to secure your data. Then what you can what else? I mean, apart from like for example, for this security transfer, you give a solution that you can use private link or you can use VPC. Let's say, for example, you want to transfer data from A point to B point, but you have to go through internet. Then what are the security protection that you can use in an order to secure your data for any breach and loss of data, both?
Okay. Um, you are asking about what is the security purpose to use VPC, right?
No, no. Let me repeat my question once again.
Yeah, yeah.
The last question was from S3 bucket. You can hear us loud and clear. Is there any problem in that?
Something your noise is came your end.
Yeah, that.
This is not
uh,
capturing into my ears, so that's the problem.
okay. Is there any possibility that you can use earphones by any chance?
I'm
That
not
would be helpful.
using I'm not using earphones, basically.
Can Okay, no problem. If you, I mean, If there are nearby, you can use them. That would be helpful. If not, then you have to go by this only. I mean, I can speak a little bit louder, but if you
Yeah,
don't mind.
yeah, sure.
Okay. So the last question that is being asked is that you want to transfer from S3 bucket to EC2, but your data should not go to open internet.
Okay.
The next question that we are trying to ask is, let's say if you have to go through internet, then what are the steps that you can take to secure your data?
Okay. The security of the data is we are using the private link and VPC peering. Utilize the AWS private link connected to the service privately without exposing there in the public internet. Also encrypt and also protocol to the HTTPS VPN to encrypt the data transit to ensure that even data is interrupted, it remains unreachable. That's the question is the point A to point B, right? You are from the point A to point B, go to the internet itself, right?
Yeah, so I mean, let's say for example, these point A to point B are not under VP. Let's say point B is not under virtual private network.
Okay.
Suppose that. Now you have to go through open internet. You have to go through the point B in order to meet your requirement.
Okay.
Now, if you can, please assume that the B point is not under VPN.
Okay. Basically, we can you can process into the security group as per the configuration, security groups and networking access to control list to restrict the access to only IP addresses, trusted IP addresses.
What is the difference between transit gateway and direct connect?
Sorry.
What is the difference with what is the use of transit gateway, and basically what is the difference between both of them, transit gateway and direct connect, why they are used?
Actually, transit gateway is the service allowed to the connect multiple VPCs on-premise network through a single gateway. It simplifies network management by enabling communication between the all connection networks through needed to complex peering arrangements, right? Direct connect means that the service provides a dedicated network connection from your permissions permissions of the AWS. It allows you to bypass the public internet, offering more secure connected through large amount of data.
Can you please share your screen?
What?
Can you please share your screen and open Notepad?
Yeah. Can you share the screen?
Okay. Yes. You can open Notepad. Okay. So now you don't need to consider, don't think about VPC or anything. Just write a Terraform code for the in HCL to deploy an EC2 instance.
Your voice is not
Am I
clear.
audible? So I'm saying write a Terraform script to deploy an EC2 instance. The basic, very basic block. Is it?
You're asking about the question is your requirement of the AWS EC2 instance in the Terraform code, right?
Yes, yes. I want to deploy an EC2 instance using Terraform. So I want you to write the template for that.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah. First thing, main.tf. Your this is the AWS EC2.
Mhm. Okay, leave it, Suresh. That's fine. So, can you now please talk about have you worked on deploying any ML model on AWS cloud?
Basically, we are something we are designing into the ETL pipelines. Basically, ML ops to deploy that particular Dockerized image into the Kubernetes cluster. That thing is recently established into this DAZON organization, the MLS projects. We are demos and one month we are working with DevOps side. We are also
In the
Oracle Foundation is Gen AI
sorry,
certificate also. We are contributed into the ML projects. We are any chance to that one we have to contribute into the ML projects also.
okay. So you have utilized EKS, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, mm, so there's an application, right? This Python based. Say it is a fast API, right? Backend application. Now deployed on this Kubernetes cluster. What steps would you follow? Can you just high level give the idea?
Yeah. Basically, uh, it's a deployment of Kubernetes cluster, right? Yeah, you are asking about the API. I am deploying into the fast API application in the Kubernetes cluster. First thing is the containerize the application. Create a Docker file to fast API app to build an image. First thing. Second thing is we are the building that image to build the image to push the container registry for the AWS ECR. After that, we are find out the Kubernetes cluster in the deployment of the YAML file, deployment of a fast API to specify the container image and replicas. That's it. The third thing, and the fourth thing will be service connection configurations of the service will be exposed to the particular YAML file to expose the fast API into the app, allow it to be access to with the cluster or the external to the node port or the load balancer to the cloud side. We are these are the apply to the configuration we have to using into the kubectl apply -f. This is the command used to create the particular deployment happening is there in that one. After that, we have monitor and scaling that activities are doing the cluster end. These are the steps we are following in the Kubernetes deployment of the fast API.
The application require access to S3. How would you provide access to that? We don't want to use access keys.
We are something. Your voice is not clear.
That fast API application require access to S3 bucket data that is residing there, right? So how would you provide access to that? We don't want to use these access keys and secret keys, right? This is a follow-up question on the application that is already deployed on the cluster, right?
Your voice is not clear, Tiwari. Please.
Let me repeat once again. Let me repeat once again. He's saying that if given that you are not allowed or we don't want to use access keys and secret keys in the system, is there any other method with which you can authenticate and authorize without the use of access keys and secret keys? Is the intent of the question. I can repeat myself once again if you want.
Your question is asking for. I am only for the listening into the access and secret key. Remaining question is not idea about that thing. Please clear your end of the mic or anything.
So do you know about IRSA? IAM roles for service account.
Okay. Roles and service account, right?
IAM roles for service account.
Yeah.
So how would that be used here for this problem?
Actually, you are asking for the role to the defined set of permissions that can be assigned to the user and services. This case, we have grant temporary access to the resources without sharing the long-term credentials. These are the things you have to use in the roles. The access account
You are not answering. Sorry, let me stop you there. You are
yeah.
not answering the question in terms of the problem that I proposed to you, right? The problem is this fast API application is there. We need to provide access to S3 bucket data to that application utilizing IRSA, right? That's what I told you. So how would you set up that? That's my question.
Okay. In basically the previous question to S3 bucket to connect with that one, right?
Right.
Create the this question is this way to answering that one. We can creating it the IAM policy. We are policy allowed to the S3 bucket to specify the get object and put object, and also to create to IAM role. To policy attached to the role to relationship with EKS service account to that this role. That's why we are creating to that one.
Okay, and how would you apply it? Just please complete the process, right? You mentioned about the policy and rule, but how would you set it up on the cluster, right?
Yeah, it's create the service account, right? Your EKS, your EKS cluster, create a service account. Annotations in the IAM, right? Annotations of the IAM ARN. This link the Kubernetes service account is the IAM role. First thing. And also to deploy the application into the update the application deployment into the created in the service account. This ensure that when your application runs, it can assume the IAM role and access S3. That's why we need to configure.
Okay. Have you worked
Also,
on
we
any
can
other cloud?
create this way to service account means we are the using from the permissions read from the S3 bucket. The policies read from the S3.
Okay. Have you worked on any other cloud, means GCP or Azure?
Yeah, we are some projects of working in Azure.
So, what are the most used services on Azure which are equivalent to like what you use for on AWS, like for data storage, compute, right? Can you please name them on Azure?
Exactly. We are working into the Azure compute side, Azure storage, Azure network, Azure databases. These are the things we are somewhere about working. We are actually we are Azure storage means Azure blob storage, which simply from the S3 bucket, right? Object storage. Azure virtual machine means AWS compared to the Amazon easy to for the compute service, right? Azure SQL database is similar to the Azure RDS for the relation databases. And also the comparison of the Azure Kubernetes service AKS is compared to the AWS EKS. These are the container orchestration service in the cloud, really ready-madely built with any cloud of these are the terminology is different. The functionality is same.
Okay. Okay, I'm done with my questions. Himanshu, Saurabh, if you have anything, otherwise.
Yeah, I
I
have asking
think we are
for
good. Uh,
sorry.
please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I am asking for the two questions. What are the deployment strategy you are using for the what situation you are using into that deployment strategy in monolithic application, microservice applications? I I understood my question. What are the deployment strategy we are using for monolithic application and microservice? What scenario you can deploy the monolithic applications? What deployment you using and microservice deployment? Which deployment of using in the microservice level? Please tell me about your working experience wise. Tell this one line of answer is there.
Yes. So we have different clients, right? I'll explain to you what uh, why we use monolithic and microservices. They are different types of architectures, right? So we basically use blueprint deployments for the for the applications like which we deploy on Beanstalk, PaaS, right? We use uh, the green for microservices as well, and we do perform A/B testing where we route the traffic for a certain percentage of users to a specific group, right? So it depends. It depends on client requirement and how the architecture is planned, but we mostly follow Go-Green. And does that answer your question?
Yeah. We have a deployment of. You are using Canary or Blue Green?
Blue green, blue green for monolithics, right? And microservices mostly. Uh, it depends basically, but Canary or Blueprint, it, uh,
Yeah,
as per.
Canary is basically using into the your something service mesh can be deployed to the Canary deployment, right? Blue Green is commonly we have to deploy into the microservice fast APIs. The service, the requirement of the traffic is going through this blue is something 10% traffic and 90% traffic shipped into the green, the new version. the two things. And my next question is, what are the ML of strategies you are using in your working experience?
So what do you want to know about ML strategies? As in, I mean, can you be more specific? Uh, I mean, what do you I mean ML strategy? I'm not very clear about that question. Can you
Basically,
elaborate,
I have
please?
the strategy. Yeah. The strategy means what are the end-to-end pipeline using for the deployment of this machine learning operation model. Any idea about that one? Leave it as question. Answer.
Yeah. So let me answer that question for you. So as Shivam also said, that we are catering different sorts of clients. So their requirement can be in machine learning, can be deep learning, can generative AI based. So we want some details more specific to any of these. I can give you that. Uh, so
DBC,
yeah, please go ahead.
Airflow, Clueflow, and DBC. This kind of tools are using for the ML workflows, right?
Yeah. So most of the cases, most of the scenarios that happens. So what you are talking about, they are automated pipelines. So at times, what happens is in 99.9% of the cases, we may have to go with a custom-based solution where uh, these flow may because there is a lot of customization required. So I mean these scenarios does not fit into those. So we may have to because let me give you a specific reason out of it. The reason being that ML systems wherever they are being used, they are used within systems of systems, and we support the backend within some integrated part of that complete system. So in this regards, ML flow ends up they are used in the cases uh, where you have a catered solution driven within AI and within that flow, and you scale down and stuff. But most of the scenarios, 99% of the case scenarios, we made everything from scratch, as in we developed the service and we put it into a container, and then we define we figure out our traffic and we try to scale it down, scale it up according to that with Terraforms. And basically, what I'm trying to say is we make our custom solutions, and on the basis of our requirement, we basically fill with green fielding stuff apart from MLQs, ML flows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that.
And adding on to that, what Himanshu just said, we do follow the DVC that that's pretty standard across the industry for managing this version control, the
Yes.
artifacts for the storage. So we do
Yes,
follow
Shubham.
that.
Yes, Shubham. That's the good point for that tools are working in ML ops side. Are designed for the CI/CD pipeline implementation of the MyAnd is GitHub Actions. GitHub Actions will be doing into this process in CI/CD workflows. Um, that's it. My end. Any asking for the questions at the end of the meeting or any other thing?
Yeah, I think we are good.
Yeah. Yeah, Shubham. Good to talk with me and this time to spend with me and the different technologies are discussing with me. Yeah, super.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. We will update your feedback to HR. He or she will get back to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Okay, Suresh. Let me check with the panel, and accordingly, I will be letting you know. Okay. Okay. And thank you so much for your time. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
your cooperation of talking about these people's are very good knowledge and experience also.
Okay.
Yeah, waiting for the feedback and I will let you know something.
Okay. Okay, Suresh. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.